آزادی بیان
言论自由
free speech.
If nothing else, given that speech can cause and sometimes constitute harm, and that those facts are of obvious moral relevance, we ought to have regard to what we might do by and in speaking. If our verbal world runs on autopilot, we may find ourselves on a crash course. That is the single most important take-home lesson that the Buddha has for us. Speech matters. It matters morally. There are moral norms governing the use of speech qua speech. Here's the counsel he offers in the Majjhima Nikaya to his son Rahula. The Buddha says, whenever you want to perform a verbal act, you should reflect on it. This verbal act I want to perform, would it lead to self-affliction? To the affliction of others? Or both? Is it an unskillful verbal act? If on reflection you know that it would lead to self-affliction, to the affliction of others, or to both, it would be unskillful, with painful consequences, painful results, and then any verbal act of that sort is absolutely unfit for you. That's the Buddha. Now, I want you to ignore the utilitarian flavor of that quotation, or at least that translation. The satisfaction of desire, trust me, is not the Buddha's idea of the good life. And the frustration of desire is not the only form of dukkha or pain. So too, I want you to overlook for now the Buddha's overstatement to Rahula that unskillful speech is absolutely unfit, for the Buddha is no deontologist. I will say something about that in a few minutes. Right speech norms do not articulate Kantian deontological prohibitions which it is wrong to violate. They are much more like what Aristotle has in mind when he tries to articulate virtues by which we should live, virtues that will make life go well. The Buddha is trying to articulate virtues that will make our life through speech, which is, after all, much of our life, go well. I think that idea, the most important take-home idea, is both true and important. We should be mindful of our speech.